Something that that's been really, really blessing me, just in my time with God. But God was really speaking to me about just His presence, and in His presence, there's truly the fullness of joy. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is. Like, and you know, what I just began to think about is everybody knows how it feels to be around somebody that doesn't make them feel safe. Everybody knows how it feels to be around somebody who, you gotta watch your back. You can't necessarily trust them. You don't know what they're gonna do with stuff that you tell them. You don't know if you can tell them certain things. It's like, can I trust you? And everybody knows how that feels, to the point where you don't want to be around somebody that you always have to just second guess. You have to constantly check and see what they're up to, if they're against you. No one wants to be around people that they always have to protect themselves from. And we find ourselves in situations where we are around people that we don't necessarily trust. Even with people we love, like something I've been saying lately, like you can love somebody and not trust them. Like, listen, I love you, but I just don't trust you. And at the end of the day, we want to be around people that make us feel safe. We want to be around people who make us feel secure. But ultimately, all of us are just searching for that security. All of us are searching for a safe place, a place to run to. And I think that's so beautiful. But I imagine, could you imagine being around somebody that knows you, loves you, with no conditions, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you feel, no matter how it sounds, they just love you. You talk about, you always feel safe around them. You always feel secure around them. You're absolutely adored by them. Just truly being in the presence of love. And when I think about God, God is love. Like, He is love. Like, it's not that, oh, God is a loving God. No, He is love. And I just think that's so beautiful, because it's like, what love is and what it embodies, God is perfect. Like, and He does everything perfectly. And I just imagine being in the presence of perfection, to the point where literally, like, you always feel safe, you always feel secure, you always feel wanted, you always feel accepted, you always feel affirmed, you always feel supported, you always feel like somebody has your back. Like, imagine never again having to ever second guess, can you trust someone? Imagine never having to second guess, are you going to use these words against me? Are you going to turn your back on me? Are you going to forsake me? Are you going to leave me? Imagine being before someone who never makes you even second guess. Or imagine being before somebody that you never even have to have a thought of fear, a thought of insecurity, a thought of inferiority, a thought of not belonging, a thought of not being wanted. Like, that is what it feels like to be in the presence of God. And I always say, like, if you're around somebody that loves you that much, it makes you want to melt. Like think about yourself when you're safe, when you're secure, when you actually like the people you're around. The colorful side of you that comes out. You know how you can be around certain people and you're just quiet, and people can automatically assume, well, they're just quiet. And it's like, no, they're not quiet. They just don't feel safe. But imagine being before someone that allows you to be you. But the real you comes out, because that the love that you begin to feel, it creates this environment where, no, you're safe to just be yourself. And I think that is truly what happens in the presence of God. And I love the fact that He really is love. Could you imagine being in the presence of true love? Like, you don't even have the thought of fear. Could you even fathom that? Never having to go, well, are you? No, there is no insecurity in heaven, right? There's no inferiority, there's no inadequacy, there's no pain, there's no heartache, there's no heartbreak, but the simple fact that we have access to the presence of God on earth. We have access to perfect love here and now. I think that's so special. There's times in the presence of God where I always text, I text certain people and I tell them, like, yo, the presence of God is truly the safest place to be. When you have nowhere to go, like, you can always run to God. And it's so powerful, because there's a song that I love. It says, there's nowhere that I can go that you're not already there. Like, when I ran from you, I ended up running to you. When I tried to hide, I ended up finding you there. When I told you no, you knew right where I'd go. When I ran from you, I ended up running to you. And there's nowhere I can get that's far away from you. There's nowhere I can go, again, that you're not already there. And I think that's so powerful that, like, it gets to the point where it's not just when there's nothing else to do, but this is what I want to do. I just want to run to the presence of perfection. I want to run to love itself, himself. And I'm in this place where a part of my ministry is encouraging people to get in the presence of God. But it's no longer from, oh, this is what you need to do. It's, let me just talk to you about the greatest place in the world. And automatically you're like, I want to be there. I want to feel safe. I want to feel secure. And listen, man will never do that for me. Certain relationships will never do that for me. Like, I just want to be I want to be safe. I want to be secure. Run to God. He is all those things and more. And I just feel like, again, in the presence of God, there's truly the fullness of joy. You cannot leave the presence of God. Sometimes you don't want to leave. Like, where else am I going to go? I want to just stay here. And I believe that is the most profound thing. Like, imagine being in the presence of perfection. There's going to come a day where we're finally going to meet God. There's a song that says, I can only imagine, will I stand in your presence, or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah, or will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. It's like, nah. I know for a fact I'm going to lay on my face. I'm going to weep uncontrollably. And I'm not going to let go of Jesus' legs, his feet. Everybody going to be chilling. I'm like, I'm not going nowhere. I am in the presence of perfection. I am in the presence of perfect love. I can't let go. I can't let go. You talk about wanting to fill voids. I was telling my boy the other day, he was like, do your voids ever go away? And I don't believe that our voids go away. See, voids are just meant to be filled. That's all. And see, we run to people to fill our voids and not running to just God. Just run to God. And the thing about God is, see, people, they can only temporarily comfort you or temporarily provide you with something. But God, see, he doesn't just feel you, he heals you. So what ends up happening is when you go to God, you get filled, but then you're being made whole. So you don't walk around needing people to continue to fill your cup. Because when people do it, they pour into you, but it just falls right out. And that's why you have to keep going back for a refill. Fill me up again. Tell me that again. Reassure me again. Affirm me again. I'm going to keep needing it when I go to you for it. But when I go to God, he doesn't just fill me up. He makes me whole. That's powerful, yo. So the goal is, don't ignore the void. Run to God for the void, because he's going to fill it and he's going to make you whole. And I'll end with this. I had the victory ball in the beginning of the year, and I was getting ready for the victory ball, and God was just having me just spend some time with him. And the way he affirmed me so much. And he told me, he said, son, I'm affirming you so much that by the time you get to that event, you're not gonna need any of the affirmation, but you can accept it from a whole place, not a place needing to be filled. And it's powerful, because see, when God says it, it's different and it holds weight and it's powerful. I love being in the presence of perfection. But that's all. That was something that God really been ministering about. And we've talked about that. Like, just imagine being before love. Perfect love. And perfect love casts out all fear. It's powerful, yo. Could you imagine? Could you imagine being in a place where you don't even have the thought of fear? It's in the presence of God. And we have access to that now. That's powerful.